Welcome to the second episode of Asking 10 Questions, where we interview people from the car community to get to know a little more about them. Today we're sitting down with a YouTuber that had humble beginnings, starting off working on his garage floor like you and me, to having his own shop, doing crazy wide body builds, Civic builds, better known as Jasmine Rice, and picking up even more vehicles as time goes on. From coilovers to bags, Genesis to BRZs, we hop on a call with Robbie Ferreira. All right, welcome to the second episode of Asking 10 Questions. We're here with Robbie Ferreira. Thank you for coming on, Robbie. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, as dandy as I could be stuck in my apartment, so let's hop into it. All right, so don't forget wheels, tires, suspension, fitmentindustries.com. Make sure to check out Robbie's channel if you haven't already. So, on to the first question. As a doozy, what got you into cars?
Ooh, I think I was born into cars, to be honest. I don't think anything like specifically happened. I think as a kid, I always had Hot Wheels. I was always playing with cars. I always had like car posters and just the regular kid stuff. But like, I think I just never kind of left that. You know, there was nothing eventful. It just is the way I am.
Yeah, I feel like I was kind of the same way. I always had Hot Wheels, and then like growing up in the era of Fast and Furious starting, like I just feel like it happened. You know,
exactly right. It's too hard not to be into cars.
For real. All right, so second question. So starting off as RF Automotive and then all the way to now, has there been any difficulties growing your YouTube channel, and do you have any tips for others?
I like that you knew the RF Automotive thing, because that was like a very small little piece right at the beginning. That's like what I started my channel as, and then I was like, you know what, we're gonna switch it just to my name because it sounds better and I want. But as far as like challenges growing it, I think the biggest challenge is just consistency, because that's what everybody looks for in YouTube. And like growing a channel, you obviously have like a real job, like a full-time job. So being able to do a full-time job and then also do YouTube on the side, but do it enough that it was consistent for everybody, I think that's like the main struggle. Everybody gets to the point where they kind of have their channel going, but it's getting through consistently posting while being just completely swamped. That's the hardest part, I think, for anybody.
Definitely, I agree 100%. There's so much that people don't see, you know, like it looks like it's super fun to make YouTube videos, which it is, but there's so much work that goes into it. Oh, yeah. And like I said, there's not really breaks. You're always kind of doing something, whether it's going through comments or posting videos or, you know, making the content, editing. There's so much behind the scenes that people don't get to see. So
you guys have a whole team to go through it too, right? Like like for me and a lot of other people that are trying to do YouTube, it's like just you. So you can like barely sleep for weeks just to make it look like you're doing a little bit, you know?
Yeah,
it's a lot of work, but I think
I can imagine, because we have a team of videographers and editors, and that's how we're able to put out like a video every single day. Whereas like you by yourself, oh my god, the stresses, I can't imagine.
It's all good fun though.
Definitely. All right, so number 3, switching up gears a little bit. What has been the best car part you bought off Wish, and what's the worst?
I bought a lot of garbage off Wish.
I know. Like, I wanted to know like if any of them actually turned out to be decent or if they just all were garbage.
The headlights that are in the Civic right now are actually the ones from Wish. I never replaced them. So I guess the headlights would be the best thing. They've lasted forever. They still work. Those are probably the best thing I bought off Wish. And the worst thing, God, there's a stack of worst things I've bought. I know we bought like turbo timers that never worked. They just kind of like exploded the second you plug them in. We had like blow off valves that don't open. They just stay closed the whole time. So no matter what happens, you don't get any blow off. I don't think Wish is the best place for cheap stuff, but you can get some good stuff on there. You just got to get the right stuff.
Definitely, I hear you there.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Not like performance part oriented,
exactly.
More cosmetic stuff.
They do sell turbos now, though, apparently. So.
I'm pricing. All right. So, question number 4: what was the hardest part of the wide body install on the BRZ?
The hardest part was probably mounting it, because it never came with any hardware. We had to install the hardware on the back. It relies on us having no guidance or nowhere to put the holes, no idea how we wanted to do it. So I think the hardest part was just kind of getting the kit mounted up and then still being able to mark where we wanted the holes and how we wanted it to sit, and getting it to actually fold up with no kind of like outline or anything we could trace on where it was even supposed to go or anything. it was a huge guessing game for mounting it, but I think we pulled it off pretty good.
Yeah, I remember seeing the video when you first got it. I thought that was crazy. I mean, it looks super clean because you don't have to see any of the hardware, which is awesome, but it looked like a kind of a pain to do.
Oh yeah, because it's supposed to be molded, right? It's supposed to be completely seamless.
Yeah,
but
yep.
I don't know. I didn't like the idea of that, because you got to take the bumper off to get the fender off, because they kind of match each other. So to do any work, you'd have to kind of like completely destroy the whole car.
Gotcha, yeah. After watching your video of you putting the stock parts back on the BRZ, I connected with that. I really felt that because I've done so much to my Focus ST, and like some of the mods, I don't want to say are annoying, but they're almost getting annoying. Like it's like too far, and I really related with that video. What advice do you have for young people that are starting to mod their car?
Do what you want to do first. Don't do what you think other people would like, or don't do what is like cool on Instagram or YouTube or whatever, because that's, I mean, especially like for you and me, we're in the car scene like pretty big, and it's easy to think like, oh, I've never done this, I'm gonna do it. I've never done this, I'm gonna try one. I've never done this, and then all of a sudden you have a car that has just way too much, and you drive it every day, and you're like, this is like driving the Civic every day is kind of different. It's like funny almost. But when I do the BRZ, I want it to be like comfortable. I want it to feel nice, and I get in and I'm just like, this isn't my car anymore, you know? So if anybody's starting, just do what you like. If you want seats first, if you want a steering wheel, whatever, you can do that. But like, obviously you should start with wheels, tires, suspension, because that's where Fitment's gonna hook you up the best. But like, if whatever you want is the easiest way to start, and then you'll never regret driving around a car that doesn't really make you happy, I think. For sure.
Because like I got to a point where like there was always car mods in my head that I wanted to do to a car, like aftermarket seats and a harness bar and harnesses, because those look cool, they're flashy, you know, and all that good stuff. But like once you do them, and then it's like year 2 of putting on harnesses every single time you get in the vehicle, and then you have someone different get in, then they got to adjust all the harnesses. And then the aftermarket seats are great, but they're not just for daily driving. It's kind of overboard, and you kind of get sick of it. So I just thought that was a really interesting topic.
Exactly. And that's like exactly what I did, right? So I deal with the seats in other cars, but the BRZ was like, the stock seats are just nice. I didn't want to take that away.
You've had coilovers, you've had air suspension. Which one do you prefer and why?
Well, the air suspension is obviously, I would prefer to have air suspension, just because the ease of pulling up somewhere. You don't have to worry about if it's the steepest incline in the world. You don't have to worry about, you know, if you're going over a speed bump, it doesn't matter. You can always make it over. You can always adjust it. But I think there's a certain level of like, I don't even know what the word would be, but for having coilovers, there's like this certain, you are here, you know, like you're pulling this off every day. You're getting over the speed bumps. You are going up the driveways. You are doing whatever you got to do, and you have coilovers. And I think that there was a part of me when like the BRZ had coilovers that was kind of proud, because it was pretty low and I would make it everywhere. And people would be like, oh my God, that's a low car. And I was like, yeah. But now with bags, it's like, well, yeah, obviously I can air up over it, right?
Right.
But I prefer bags. Bags are nice and simple, and, you know, you don't have to worry about anything.
I agree. Like, I get what you're saying. Coilovers is almost like a status, you know, being static. It's impressive, but just the convenience of air ride is so nice that for me, it's hard to pass up on too. So question number 7, this is kind of a big one. Where do you see you and your channel in 5 years?
Wow. I don't even know. I don't even know where I see myself at the end of the year, dude. So here's where Robbie's advice comes in. I don't really have like a 5-year plan, right? What I try to do is I try to have like short-term plans, because, for example, if I have a plan that in 5 years, you know, I'm going to own the warehouse space right across from me, and it's going to be massive, it's going to be good. And someone comes along and they're like, yo, we have this really cool opportunity for you to do something over here, but my goal is to be right across. I'm always going to pass up on opportunities that could be better than my goal. So I try to keep my goals short. And like, obviously I have like a 5-year term, like a 5-year like plan. Like I want to like buy a house, and I want to, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. But as far as goals for like the channel and stuff, I kind of try to keep them short, because if any cool opportunities come up or someone throws something at me, I want to be able to do it. I don't want to be kind of like mentally locked into something else. Definitely. So 5-year goal for me and the channel isn't that big.
No, that's cool. Take it day by day and see what kind of gets thrown at you. I like that.
Exactly.
All right, so now we're switching gears again. These are questions from our subscribers. So we posted in the YouTube community, got some questions from those guys that they wanted answered. And the first one is from Cameron Gustafson. He asked, what is/was your favorite set of wheels?
Ooh, obviously the Forge line's really beautiful. The ones I have on the BRZ right now, they're very nice. But honestly, the TM7s, the NK TM7s that I had, like, I think when we first connected, like when I had my channel was very small, right?
Yeah.
Those were a nice set of wheels. They're just like simple. They don't have a huge dish. Like they're not like super flashy. They're just like clean, nice to look at. Obviously the Forge lines, like I said, they're beautiful, but like they're it's a lot of wheel. So if you're like at home trying to get a wheel, I like those TM7s. I think they're good.
Yeah, NK is so good at that, like making just a simplistic wheel that still looks good and can kind of go on anything and look good. And then they're very performance oriented too. You know, they try to.
And the colors are nice and like simple, right? There's nothing that's super aggressive or anything like that.
Definitely. Cool. Next question we have, let's see here. Ed Andrews, he asked, it seems like you have given up on selling the Civ. Do you have plans to take it to the next level? And if so, what are they?
So I do have plans to take it to the next level. I just want to do some other things first. I want to obviously finish up the Genesis that you can see is last 2 days sanding this thing. We got to finish up the Genesis. We got to do the S10 and obviously a little bit on the BRZ. But I would like to come back to the Civic in like a year's time and just basically do what was unfathomable at the point of Wish and just do like the most ridiculous engine setup and just go like full bore, like 700 horsepower for no reason type build. And then somehow I want to keep something in there to remind it of like the Wish build, but I would like to completely send it with this car just because.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I think that's what that Civic's all about. It's just going crazy.
I think that's what it needs.
Yes, that's awesome. I love to hear that. Okay, so question number 10, the last question we got. This is from Caesar. I think that's how you say it. He wants to know, why don't you finish any of your damn projects?
I do. People say this to me all the time. I think it's funny. They'll be like, oh, Robbie, none of your cars are done. But like, so the Civic's done, the BRZ's on the road, but they want like the BRZ to be, you know, boosted and do all this to be able to call it done. But like, I to finish a project, especially on a channel like this, like that just kind of closes it off. Like say I were to finish the Genesis and then what? I got to start something else. You know what I mean? You got to have stuff going to film and to do. Otherwise you're dead in the water.
Definitely. And like, I think as car guys, like, is any build ever done?
No,
Seriously?
Never done.
Always something to do.
So I think that's my problem too. I'll always get close to being done and then I just want to do one more thing and then people are like, God, this is never going to end.
Yeah. I think we all can relate to that. Well, that's all I got for you, Robbie. Thank you so much for coming on. Make sure to go subscribe to his channel and check it out.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. It was awesome.
Definitely. Awesome. So I hope you're having fun, staying safe, washing your hands, all that good stuff. And I can't say it enough. I appreciate you for doing this interview. And don't forget, wheel tire suspension, fitmentindustries.com.